Marilyn et moi, Lawrence Schiller. Des photos mythiques ici, dans cette galerie. On est à Cannes, c'est le lancement mondial de ce livre. Un incroyable livre qui raconte une incroyable histoire. Vous et Marilyn Monroe. That's it?
Thank you. This is me. I was 23 years old when I shot these pictures, and it was 50 years ago. 50 years ago.
Et la rencontre avec Marilyn. Vous étiez tout jeune photographe.
I was working for Look magazine, and I was already working for Paris Match, the French magazine, and I worked for a picture editor who later became the editor-in-chief, Roger Theron. And Roger Theron would send me on assignments all over the world. I was a crazy young kid. And that was Paris Match. You know, they parachuted you onto a ship, you know, anything crazy to do to get the picture nobody else had.
Et vous faisiez des photos sexy.
I was taking sexy pictures. I was taking pictures of kings, queens, murderers, rapists, anybody.
Et comment vous rencontrez Marilyn Monroe, Lawrence?
Well, I was introduced to her by a press agent, and she turned around, and the press agent said to her, "This is Larry from Look magazine. He's going to be here a few days." And then she looked at me, and you know, she said, "You know, I'm Marilyn." And I looked at her, and I said, "I'm the big bad wolf." And I don't know where the words came from. I have no idea. And she looked at me and said, "But you're too young to be that bad. But I'm sure you'll grow up and become that bad." But that was the beginning. I think it was the fact that I always said something that was so unexpected, you see. But the real bond that happened between us was when I started to photograph her at a certain angle, and she noticed that I didn't close this eye. You know, I had my camera up, but this eye was open, and she said, "All photographers close their left eye. Why aren't you closing your eye?" And I said, "Because I'm blind in this eye. I had an accident when I was a child." And I said, "Maybe I see the world flat like a picture. I don't know." And she said, "How did it happen?" So I told her how it happened. And I think there was something there that connected. You know, it's my memories of it, and the words in the text of the book, throughout the book, are the feelings and the emotions, you know. You know, later on there was a very tragic moment when I was telling her that I was just married and my wife was going to have a baby, you know, my first child. And she looked at me and she said, "You know, I'd like to have a baby too." And then she tells me how her mother was in a mental hospital. Her father, she thought, maybe committed suicide. And she said, "Even though I want to have a baby, I'm afraid that the genes, you know, of my mother will wind up and the child will not be a healthy child." So she said emotionally, I mean, I write it very well, but I'm summarizing for you, that emotionally my body rejects the baby. And it was a very, very interesting moment. We had a lot of interesting moments like that. Of course, we had a lot of business moments, you know.
Parce qu'elle savait la valeur des photos, hein? Elle savait ce qu'elle valait, hein?
Well, you know, she told me that she was going to consider in this movie, Something's Gotta Give, that she was considering going into the swimming pool with a bathing suit on,
Ouais.
but coming out with nothing on. And her press agent said, "You're not going to do that, are you?" And she says, "I'm thinking about it." And then when I saw that she was real serious, I cracked this joke, again, maybe making a mistake. And I said, "But Marilyn, you're already famous. Now you're going to make me famous." And she looked at me and said, "Don't be cocky, you know. Photographers like you can easily be replaced." I mean, she was tough, you know. You know, she was 35 years old, the second time I photographed her. And as the saying goes, she's been run over by a lot of trucks in her life, you know, and she survived all of this. So she has to become an educated woman. You know, the whole world wanted to save her, but she couldn't save herself.
Yeah. Les photos dans la piscine, Lawrence, racontez-nous, parce que c'est elle qui a décidé d'être nue, de quitter son maillot couleur peau. Elle avait envie de montrer au monde comment elle était encore belle, peut-être plus belle que Liz Taylor ou d'autres, avec qui on l'a comparée.
Well, no question. She was getting paid $100,000 for the movie, and Liz Taylor was getting paid $1 million. And she felt, I'm just as good an actress as Liz Taylor. I can generate just as much business as Liz Taylor. But why doesn't the studio pay me like Liz Taylor? And this was her point of view. You know, this is her point of view. So she decided to use the pictures as a weapon to prove to the studio. But what she didn't put into the equation was that every day she was late for work. Every day she didn't show up. You know, she was an actress that was very secure with the still camera, but very insecure with the motion picture camera. And therefore she was costing the studio lots of money. Liz Taylor was costing a lot of money too. Cleopatra was going over budget also. But so I think when she went into the swimming pool to show how great an actress she was, you know, what you see here, this is a performance. This is her all of a sudden in her mind being a method actress. I'm going to look young. I'm going to feel young. I'm going to be lovable, huggable, fuckable again, you know? And this is a performance because she knows how the pictures are going to be used. A lot of this is not on motion picture footage. A lot of this is taken in between when they were moving the movie cameras, you know? It's from a scene in the movie, but she is performing. There's no question about it.
Mais elle était contente de se montrer nue à ce moment de sa vie.
She gave the appearance that she was happy, but she wasn't happy about the money she was getting paid. She loved, you know, jumping in the water. Look, once somebody asked her when she did the first nude pictures with Tom Kelly in 1952, 54, somewhere in there, you know, well, what did you have on? She says, well, I had the radio on. And another occasion she says, well, I had Chanel No. 5 on. So here, she had nothing on but her birthday suit, you know? These are old phrases that go with Marilyn. But, you know, she was very, very